Why are you chewing so slowly?
I heard on the radio that when you take more time to chew, your enzymes digest your food more thoroughly. And when you digest your food more thoroughly, your body's less stressed. And when you're less stressed, you're less likely to get cancer.
Was this that metaphysical show you like?
The radio hostess's voice calms me.
What about the classical music station?
Oh, they're having their annual fundraising drive again. Seems like the entire world is always fundraising.
Begging is more like it.
They have to survive somehow. We all have to support the arts, Richard, or there won't be any civil society left.
We are the civil society, Polly.
Well, perhaps we'll agree on that when your friends show more tolerance and respect for people from all walks of life, but I'm not holding my breath.
My friends are decent, respectable people.
As you well know, I have tolerated them.
They have their idiosyncrasies.
Forgive me for saying so, but slipshottedness of character prevails.
Meg is leaving Don.
Actually, it's the other way around.
He's trying to decide if he should sell his club membership. His divorce is going to cost him.
Did you hear the backstory?
No, I can't say that I have, no.
Your respectable friend Dawn got drunk at the respectable Tea Off Cabana with a respectable 20-something escort. Then he chased her around the putting green, stark naked, yelling, "Hot Rod Dawn's coming to get you." Ever respectably, of course. Someone peering through the hedges from the Richardson family annual reunion recorded and posted a video of the frolicking couple, which went viral. Meg was out of town, but the club's logo appears everywhere. Golf carts, signage, you name it. Which doesn't paint a very respectable picture of our respectable club.
Are you going to continue to chew slowly? Because I would like dessert before 10.
I've been talking, not chewing.
Miranda's taking the night off. I'll load the dishwasher.
Richard, there's something I have to tell you.
Well, spit it out.
Thank you, I'd rather chew.
Say it then, but preferably before midnight.
I was homeless.
I'll be sure not to overload the dishwasher this time.
Did you hear what I said? I was homeless.
You don't have to shout.
Not sure you heard me.
I just didn't know what to say.
I was homeless a few years before we met. I lived in a car. I had a couple of pairs of underwear, t-shirts, a jacket, flip-flops, a Victoria's Secret bra, which accentuated my cleavage but didn't hold up very well, and a pair of Versace jeans that my friend Tori gave me. I bathed in a water fountain at the park. Well, aren't you going to say anything?
I can't. I just don't know what to say.
Nothing seedy ever happened, thank goodness. But sometimes I begged. It's really hard to get a vacancy at a shelter. You have no phone, your car is out of gas, you keep getting parking tickets. I dug through a trash bin once because I was so hungry. And then a lady gave me a bag of groceries. She wanted to buy me a hot meal, but I looked like I'd climbed out of a mud wrestling ring. Anyway, the bag of groceries. That was the nicest thing anyone has ever done for me. Ever.
Well then.
I didn't want to keep it from you any longer.
Is there anything else?
No, but you're not saying anything. It makes me feel like I did something wrong.
I just don't know what to say.
Can't you stop saying that, please? I mean, where is your compassion?
We all have our rough patches, Polly.
Well, what's that supposed to mean? It's not like I was Dawn, hooting and hollering and scampering buck naked after some party girl.
Well, there are some things I never told you.
Like what?
Well, I was homeless too.
How could that be? When? How?
You think that just because my wealthy family has always coddled me, that I've always had it easy. Well, it hasn't always been what you think.
What happened?
I was disowned and disinherited for deciding I didn't want to study law.
How long were you homeless?
3 days.
Well, I would hardly call that being homeless. I lived in the car for nearly a year, then a shelter, and then in a horrid Section 8 apartment building.
Well, perhaps it wasn't long, but for a young lad home from prep school without a hair in his chest, being dropped off on a remote country road was about all I could manage.
What happened?
Well, after the second day, my father had a change of heart and sent out a search party. When they found me, I had fallen into near hypothermia.
So you nearly died.
Yes.
Then what?
A contract was drawn up the next morning as I lay in bed with pneumonia. I signed it with all the strength I could muster, and I've followed its conditions ever since.
What did it say?
Before the age of 25, I was to study law, become a lawyer. If I were to indulge in smoke or drink, I do so only moderately, and marry.
Marry? But you divorced Eva.
If I were to divorce, I could remain a bachelor for 2 years, not a day more.
And you never once thought to tell me.
Why should I?
How many days between your divorce from Eva and your marriage to me?
Exactly 730 days.
Don't I feel convenient?
Hence no engagement period, but our rapid consummation was divinely intended. You were by far the best prospect, not gobsmacked by my assets. Material, I mean.
I don't know whether to feel flattered or outraged.
The contract was executed long before I married and divorced Eva and courted you. All in all, my family did well to protect their assets and me. There's been little reason to explain the decision I came to on the riverbank, that's all.
But you came to the decision when you were ill.
Yes, but as I lay on that bank, I negotiated with God. I agreed that if he saved me, I would follow his instruction.
You made God sound like a short order chef. And your family, sure as Abe Lincoln's eyebrows, isn't God. I mean, sure, they loved you enough to save you, but then they coerced you. Don't you resent the imposition to your person?
Well, perhaps. And perhaps even the children bore the brunt of that resentment. But you have to imagine my nights by the riverbank. I mean, after spending hours trying to catch a fish with my bare hands, finding nary a berry, retching on tree sap, getting bitten by an asp, writhing uncontrollably in the mud, my tongue swelling, my skin turning a deep shade of phthalo blue, it hardly seemed a difficult decision to make.
But you were manipulated into a lifetime of subjection. Any healthy person would want to rebel somehow.
I disagree. I have profited from it handsomely. Rebellion is for the weak to learn how to be strong.
So, following your line of logic, when you hear my story, do you think I didn't pray hard enough? I was some weak rebel, not strong enough for some VIP insider channel for whispering into God's ear? Was my suffering self-inflicted because I didn't broker some materialist deal?
How you fell into, shall we say, your period of destitution, well, I don't know what happened there. But yes, my fate was written in the stars, as it were, by virtue of my birth.
How dare you insinuate that my life is any less celestially designed and important?
I'm not insinuating anything. My trials are mine. It seems we've opened a whole can of worms here. I should never have said anything.
I hoped to share my intensely personal experience with you, and you've brushed it off, minimized it, compared it to yours, a more privileged and ultimately cushy adventure. What's worse is you've turned your family's cruelty towards you towards me, assuming some godly eye in the matter. This is the most debasing, cold, and heartless way you have ever been with me, Richard.
Wait, Polly, wait. You're right. I didn't hear you out. I've always known you had secrets. This was just quite a bundle to suddenly toss over.
What would be a good time for you to hear the truth? Before a ride at the stables? During a tennis tournament? At one of your friends' soirees? I am telling you now, in the privacy of our home, when we are alone for once, and we have nothing better to do than chew. I was homeless. It was horrible. I didn't have the courage to tell you before, so I'm telling you now. If you want to cast me out, so be it. But I'll have you know I won't be signing any corrective course of treatment agreements or pretending it didn't happen. I carry enough shame as it is. But what makes matters worse are all the comments, the little slights, the stinging things I have heard from you and your friends over the years about homeless people, needy people, people with no agency. You've no idea what I've endured from the lot of you. And then you have the nerve to say that God shaped your destiny? Well, God shaped mine too. Just less glamorously, except for my designer blue jeans. And I survived it all with my soul, my good nature, and my freedom to be myself intact. And yes, strengthened. I know how futile it is to think I may ever hold sway over you. I know life isn't fair. You will never know what it is to be a fallen woman, completely forsaken by everybody. But if you endeavor to love me as your wife from this moment on, you will have to love my entire person and all of my past, which has shaped me, and inevitably will shape you, hopefully into a more compassionate person.
Do you really think that I don't know I'm not as worldly as you? I see how you captivate people with your warmth, your humility. Your light dazzles, blinds me. Your laughter strikes a chord in me so deep that I am at a loss for words. And yes, I do not understand you to save my life, but I will try. My God, I will try. But your relationship with your God is yours, and mine is mine, and that's how it should be. I'm not here to ensnare you in my meager view of the world. I just need time to assimilate this information. But when I look at you, your fraught past isn't what I see. I see Polly, my love, beautiful Polly. I am not afraid of whatever happened before. We're not there now. You're just you, all I hope to cherish for the rest of my life. We will find our way, we will. I give you my word.